Quick update for you guys. We're going to go ahead and rule Dalvin Tomlinson out for this weekend. He's doing a great job with his rehab, but ultimately we want to make sure that when he does come back, he's at his full capacity for us. And then we've got a couple other guys that have been limited throughout the week. Really Dantzler and then Naylor is making a good recovery from kind of the illness that he had earlier. We'll see how he does today. Just want to make sure he's good to go, but we'll update you guys on that here going into the weekend. Appreciate you guys being flexible today as well.
Just talk about not having Tomlinson and then what you guys will do to kind of make up for him not playing.
Yeah, I did think, Tonga last week did some good things in the game, played strong. His play strength showed up. He affected Kyler Murray on that one interception Harrison Smith had, kind of pushing the pocket and then eventually getting a legal hit on him, as he threw that. So he'll be part of the rotation with Bullard coming back, and then, we'll have the rest of those guys ready to kind of roll through. Harrison Phillips played really well and has really played really well all season long next to Dalvin Tomlinson, so we'll expect a big game out of him and kind of leading the charge there in the interior.
Could Tonga even start? I know you guys rotate.
Yeah, it's all personnel based. I think the Commanders will have a lot to do with that as far as what they put out there to start. But you're going to see him quite a bit. He earned the right to be heavily in that rotation.
Kevin, Patrick and Adam both talked yesterday about how much it meant to them to see the trade and just to do everything you can at the trade deadline to win. I guess what is your sense from talking to the players this week about what that trade meant to them and where you guys stand?
I just think that they know, first and foremost, it was tough to see Irv go down. I mean, these guys all love Irv and have seen him really come back from that injury last year and just get better and better every single week. So they're obviously completely with Irv, and we're going to do everything we can to get him back, like I said, because I really envision a tight end room with all those guys back at one point helping us win. But I think the move itself and knowing the familiarity with TJ from the division, the type of player he is, I think they envision him being able to not only help us win games, but help us just fitting in with our culture, how we do things here. He's fit in from day one. He's been working really hard all week. I think these guys respect the veteran quality that he's kind of shown, just coming in, putting his head down, working, shown up in practice, making some plays already. So we'll see as far as ultimately the full package, what we're able to get out of him this weekend. But I think the guys were excited to make that move, knowing we're 6-1. But like we talked about coming out of the bye, we've earned absolutely nothing, and we're going to earn it every single Sunday in this league. And this is going to be a heck of a challenge against a team that's won 3 in a row, a big game for them. We expect to get their absolute best, and we just hope to play well and still hunting our most consistent game yet.
Whether he's going to get surgery or anything
as of right now, more than likely he will not. He's still kind of in the process of making that final decision, and that's what I love about the way Tyler and Uriah go about it. It's just put all the medical kind of information out there, and then between Irv and some of his folks and some of the people that support him, we just want to make sure he knows that we always want to do what's in his best interest, and then ultimately whatever we think will get him back playing for us, because he's been a real factor for us. And like I said, that tight end room, I envision it being a heck of a room when we get Irv back rolling with him and Johnny and the rest of the guys.
Did it turn out being anything more than the high ankle
Nope.
deal, or it's
Nope.
just that? Yeah.
Nope, just the high ankle.
What is the week projection if he doesn't have surgery?
We're kind of, those things can be tricky sometimes. Some heal a little faster than others, so I think it's just a matter of just attacking the rehab. If he's indeed not going to get the procedure, which guys can come back from that and be ready to roll in a different amount of time, anywhere from that 4 to almost 8 week time, I think, is what my recollection of that injury, and that's just me kind of sharing my thoughts on it. But I would defer to Tyler and Uriah and our staff and our doctors, and I can keep you guys updated as we go, when we'll be able to get Irv back on the grass.
How did TJ look this week?
How did TJ look?
I mean, did
Yeah,
he pick
I
things
think
up or what?
I think his ability, even from the first walkthrough, just to kind of take the information that Coach Angelico got him going with. I think he got in here. I want to say he got in around 9:30 Tuesday night, and immediately wanted to get into the book and wanted to get into the game plan, and it happened to coincide with us having kind of that initial first and second down plan done, so we could really try to start piecing it together, what he's able to handle, what he's comfortable doing. The good thing is, in Detroit, he did so much for that team in the run and pass game. That if you think of an idea or you think of a concept you like that fits this week, I've found it a pretty successful journey going through some of his targets and some of the things he was able to do, because they had him doing a lot, and they've got a good scheme there, and you can find him executing a lot of different things that we may or may not ask him to do this week or throughout the rest of the season.
How important has KJ been in the run game and what you guys try to do just running the football?
Huge. Alec, every single week I feel like in the team meetings I'm showing some run where KJ ultimately makes a huge block. Sometimes it shows up and it's probably easy to see, like Dalvin. We kind of had a designer type run last week where Dalvin cut it back and KJ's sealing off Isaiah Simmons at the point of attack. And then other times it's just the little things that he does, how he handles the backside and some of our weak side runs, and how he pushes to the second level, and the impact he can have down in the red zone. I think just as I've told KJ before, there's going to be some games where the game plan and where the defensive coverage dictates he's going to have a huge role for us in the pass game. Does every week, whether the ball ends up finding him or not. But what is consistent is his role in helping us run the football. He's a huge part of it and has really taken a lot of pride in it, and that's been really cool to see. And I think it's been a huge part of our offense this year that I've really noticed.
Kevin, when it comes to Dalvin Tomlinson, he's kind of been a big part of the pass rush, which
Yeah.
wasn't really his history before this. Why do you think he's succeeded as being a part of that pass rush?
Yeah, it's a good question. I always thought he had real traits, for being a bigger guy with such power. I always thought he had some twitch and the ability to, win those one-on-ones when he gets those. What I think's happened is you're seeing quite a bit of attention paid to 55 and 99 and DJ, Pat Jones, and I think what happens is our guys do a nice job getting him in places where he may get some of those early down matchups. And then the other thing is, for a guy like that, you still have to do your job in the run game. You can't just pin your ears back and just hit a gap and go, because you could leave the guys behind you susceptible to having to take on too much in the run game. So he's able to kind of do it in a way where he does his job, whether it's playing a gap and a half, whatever it is up front, and then transition to rushing, and then still trying to find a way to impact the quarterback. So I can't say enough about the season he's had. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for us to try to replace that production. But we had some guys step up after he went down last week, and we'll need a full game out of those guys this week.
Kevin, what are the impressive things from your estimation that Christian Darasa is doing to become that anchor, that rock at left tackle?
Yeah, I think it's the consistency of pairing his technique with his physical traits. His strength, his athleticism, his balance, his ability to recover, and then the techniques and how we're asking him to perform his jobs in the run and pass game. He's one of those guys that's really coachable. I think he keeps himself prepared. He's one of those guys that I always want to make sure feels at his best for these games, and he's shown up every single day, worked his tail off, and the production in the games is not a surprise to any of us just because of how he's worked. And I know I do sometimes. I forget that he's still a pretty young player in this league, and he's gaining experience against the premier matchups that we see over there on the left side week in and week out. It'll be no different this week. Heck of a challenge for him with Montez Sweat and all that he offers, and he's going to have a big performance for us. Thanks, guys.